Russo-Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
Hello, everybody. This is Riffin News. I can't remember what volume it is. This is where me and Andrew we talk about the gossip news, the gossiping news and rumors and whatnot, what's going on in the boxing world, and we riff off each other. Hence the name Riffin News. Yeah, and we just give our opinions on it. So take it away. First bit of news.
Well, to start with, let's start. We'll start here. So, Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur 3, the trilogy that nobody fucking wanted, Chris. Listen, where do we start with this? I could talk about this for a while, so I'll just make a couple of points and then you come back in. Yarde, we all know the good relationship he has with Tunde. You know, his career's stagnated. Still up there in the rankings, Chris. Still a threat in the division. But for me, Anthony Yarde will always be what could have been. The potential that what could have been. He's got all the assets, looks the part, charismatic, comes across well in interviews, good energy, looks like a fucking $1 million, punches hard, but doesn't know stylistically what he is half the time. You know, is he a mover? Is he a swarmer? Is he a counter puncher? He's doing the Philly shell, moving around, lateral movement. Then he wants to stop. You know, you only have to look at the first two fights with Lyndon Arthur. Oh God, you got me started now. The first fight wanted to box and move around, and Lyndon Arthur got him on the end of his lead hand and got that points win because Yarde wouldn't let his hands go. Then in the second fight, I thought, fucking hell, I need to actually close this ring off and just stick it to him because he won't like it. And Lyndon Arthur did not fucking like it. And I know you have to adapt a little bit between fights, but this is where I'm going with this, because what is Anthony Yarde? I've got no idea. I've never known what he is, and I still don't know what he is.
Do you know the worst thing about Anthony Yarde, yeah?
On the Vilcans fight, don't even start. But what was going on with that Latvian plumber he fought? It was absolutely dog shit, Chris. Dog shit.
Was that his last fight? Was that his last fight? Was that his last fight?
Yeah, that Vilcan. Yeah.
Oh, mate. He's lucky that guy didn't have any power. That's all I'll say. For fuck's sake. The worst thing is about Anthony Yarde is his career's gone nowhere through bad management, bad decision. Most fighters, it's what could have been because they got on the fucking drugs, or they weren't taking the training camps seriously, or they were getting him like this guy is a consummate professional. He stays ready. He's always in the gym. He's always training. He's always ready, and they're just fucking fighting. And the reason why his career has gone this way is because he goes from fighting a world champion to fighting a guy with a losing record or fighting a bum that no one knows. Steel sharpens steel. You don't have to go in there heavy all the time. You need to fight someone who is credible, who has a heartbeat. You can't just fight a world champion and then have a knockover job because it does you no good in your boxing career. Now he's 35.
Who did he fight after Beterbiev? No one.
No one. Apart from that fucking Latvian plumber. The worst thing is, well, to be fair, we call him a Latvian plumber. I remember that fight. The guy had some skills, and he did have some skills, and he was utilising everything he had. But that's the thing, Yarde. You're 35. You always fight bums, journeymen. Like I've never known it. I've never. Last time someone did that was Joe Lewis, Bum of the Month Club, and that was when he did. There was no top contenders. He used to knock anyone out, but he used to fight once a month. He didn't do it. Bum in a month club. He didn't fight. If you're going to fight a journeyman, just having a run out, and then I'm back out again in 4 months. Fair play. If you're fighting like Kovalev and you fight someone with a losing record, and then you ain't fighting again for a year, it's not good. And that's what he's done his whole career. This time, he's made the Lyndon Arthur fight. What card's it going to be on?
He's on. I don't think. Yes. Yes.
Conor Eubank Jr. Yes. Chief support.
Yeah.
But what was I saying about Yarde?
Just about Vilkan, just about. Well, we were just saying that. Look, I guess I'll come back in quickly. Is that I'm trying to find some positives because he has dared to be great. He got in there against Kovalev when maybe I don't think he was ready actually for that one. Some of the fight management wasn't great. We all remember that, don't we? Empty the tank, all the rest of it. Dared to be great against Beterbiev. Gave, I think, one of Beterbiev's better opponents, to be fair. But I think that's Yard. Moving on to Lyndon Arthur, I've not really got much to say on him, to be honest. I think he's found wanting at world level. He's a European fighter. He's kind of British European fighter. Didn't want to lose against Bivol. Didn't want to be embarrassed. Did what he had to do against Bivol. Decent, scrappy affair against Cameron. I'd actually like to see, if Cameron and Ben Whittaker do get it on, I'd like to see the winner of that fight the winner of this fight. That's what I'd like. I'd like the winner of Arthur Yard to fight the winner of whoever Cameron fights, or Cameron Ben Whittaker. That's what I'd like to see moving forward. I've not really got much to say on Arthur because I think he's lucky to fucking get this fight, to be honest.
You know.
So I'm a bit, I don't know. Yeah.
Right. You don't really much to say, not really care. Life and death of Liam Cameron, should have been winning. Was getting his ass kicked in his other recent fight. Got a late stoppage, lucky too. So it's like he's at the end of his career and he hasn't really had a great one apart from winning the IBO title, which is a shame because I did like Lyndon Arthur. But more importantly, who I love Lyndon Arthur's trainer, Black Flash, Pat Barrett. He is an absolute G. Love Pat Barrett. Love him. I think I'm looking forward to the press conference. I like him and Tunde's back and forth. So I think the funniest foot. So yeah. So can't wait for that. What's the next topic on the Riffin news that's out there?
So the last two topics will
Andy's
yes, you've got, I mean, obviously Okolie with the WBC, obviously, he got that Bridgerweight title against Rosansky, 4 with the WBC, 7 with the WBO. We all know he got to the numbers top 10 of the WBO. Obviously, you lost to Chris Billam-Smith in 2023. The cruiserweight fight looked a bit, that was certainly in the Okolie era. Hopefully, with his new trainer now, he's going to iron out some of those issues. Obviously, coming really heavy in his last fight against Mohammed. Bit of a knockover job. If he does fight Ortiz, it's a little bit of an odd one. Ortiz inactive, lost to Ruiz, beat Charles Martin before that, beat some guy called Cordero about a year ago. He's about 45, but I think if you actually look into his passport, he's probably about 55. I mean, he was 40 about 2 years ago. So it's a bit of a strange one. Just to sort of finish off, really, with my thoughts on it, like if this does happen, I was looking around the sort of top, in and around the top 10, right, for Okolie. And a lot of fighters are obviously going to be busy this coming year, this 6 months. He could have fought Justice Hooney, don't know what's going on with him. Jared Anderson, he ain't got a fight scheduled. Jermaine Franklin would have been a decent fight. Frank Sanchez, Hergovich, if he still wants to fight, any of them. And yet he's fighting Ortiz, who's 65.
Joe Joyce, Michael Hunter, Davilov. He could have fought loads of people.
Yeah, there's quite a few. And yet his best years are 10 years ago. Like I don't really know if I coat the I'll before getting your thoughts. If Okolie knocks him out, he's knocked out an old man that's best years are behind him. If he loses to Ortiz, then Okolie's finished in the heavyweight division before he's even begun, probably. So I don't know what matchmaking this is, but
it's terrible, mate. It really is. It is terrible. Like he said, I want to make a splash. I want to make a splash in the heavyweight division, yeah? This is what he said to me when I met him. He says, I'm not looking to take tune-ups and easy fights. I want to get stuck in there. If I have to fight Usyk or Fury now, that's what I want. I don't care. Is that right? Is that right? Well, what the fuck are you fighting a fucking 50-year-old man for? I reckon at least he's got to be at least 50. At least 50. I will bet any money. It's like the Nigerians, man. Like just like come to the UK or come to America, and they take 10 years off their age, so they can work themselves into the ground. But let's have it right. Luis Ortiz, he was a good fighter at one stage, but he hasn't done anything in boxing. I don't understand. Right. Bryant Jennings had a good fight with Klitschko, took in the distance. Yeah. Klitschko, if you don't swing for it, he won't swing for it. Boring. It's a boring shit fight. Bryant Jennings took in the champion, took him the distance, and he was all right. He knocked him out. He knocked out Tony Thompson, who was that's a journeyman. He lost about 8-9 fights. Like he's not got no significant wins. And then when the first time he has a chance, this excellent Cuban boxer fights Wilder, gets knocked out, then he gets knocked out again. Then after the Wilder fight, who does he fight? The names he fights: Charles Martin, lucky he didn't get himself knocked out. Andy Ruiz, who's always out of shape since the AJ fight, and I don't ever think he was in shape for that, really. Just beat his ass. He's just too old, and he wasn't as great as everyone said in the first place. And this is a shit fight. And if you want to be a heavyweight, mix it with the big dogs, don't do a Jake Paul. Don't be fighting 50-year-old granddads. Come on. In professional boxing, we don't do Jake Pauls. We don't get old men out of retirement and start beating the shit out of them. Have some pride. Fight someone who's credible. Like we said, you got Hooney, even Joe Joyce, even Dylan White, even them guys, because at least they're similar age and they come to go. Dylan White, Joe Joyce. If you want a fucking easy touch, Hooney might be because he's an up-and-coming prospect. You might want to not go there. And he's with Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn don't give a fuck. If you're good enough to win, he'll throw you in.
That's the last thing I'll say on it before we move on to the last topic is because it's difficult to know, is it, how much say is Okolie saying in what fights he wants? Is this more his team and his management behind him, matchmaking? Obviously, it depends on the relationship. But if he's coming out, and he's a lovely guy, Okolie. Like, I mean, you did an interview with him, and I really like how he comes across, and he's a gentleman of the sport. Absolutely, 100%. But if he's coming out making statements like, I want to make a splash moving forward, well, fighting Ortiz is like a drip in the pond, not a splash. Like, come on. Yeah. You can't come out saying you're going to make a splash and then go and fight geriatric pensioners who, if you knock out, don't get any credit for. And then if you get starched, you ain't got no fucking future in the heavyweight division anyway. So it's a joke of a fight. Let's have it right. It's a joke.
Yeah, it is absolutely. It's a joke of a fight. It is a joke.
But it might not happen. I don't even know if it'll get. Ortiz is so old, it might not even get sanctioned. So, I think they want to do it over here as well in Britain, but it might not even get over the line, Chris. So,
and it's just such. Yeah, I hope it doesn't get made, and he gives his head a wobble and has a better fight. What's next?
So the last topic, this sort of ending with a bit of a kind of contentious one, is Mr. Dr. Usman, who had a viral video that's aged like milk, Chris, isn't it? To be honest, and one of the statements on there, and I don't mind leading a bit here. So you would have to be an idiot to.
Hold on, I'll get it up from his own mouth, from his own mouth.
Let's hear it. Right. Let's get him on. Get him on.
Interesting, because between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m., they're not allowed to come to your house. You seem to go time and rest. So a lot of athletes can take very fast-acting testosterone or growth hormones, which can leave your body, which can only be in your body for 7 or 8 hours. So you could take it at sort of 9 or 10 p.m. and it would be out of your system by 7, 8 in the morning. Does that make sense? So there are ways that can get around it. Like, there's a lot of ways. They may take a diuretic to flush out, what they've been taking. There's a lot of tricks, especially when you get to the higher level, the elite level, world level, maybe European. You'll find every possible way of winning. And you've got to think about it, when they're out of camp, when they're not in training camp, unless they're enrolled in the WBC clean boxing all year round random blood testing, what's stopping them doping when they're out of season?
So, what
possesses him to do an interview like that could potentially age like milk if one of your fighters or too many of your fighters get exposed, right? McCann, right, who's a fairly local lad to us, up in Maidstone, not far from us.
Yeah.
He had drostanolone in his system, and what I call the Mike O'Hearn, the legendary Mike O'Hearn that I like to call Mike O'Tren, right?
Yeah.
Mike O'Trembolone, I like to call him. He had trenbolone in his system as well. He worked with Fury, also Nigel Benn, that controversy, all this micro dosing and all. You'd have to be an idiot to be caught drug tested in England. This is a terrible look. It's terrible for boxing. I'm sick of this keep coming up in boxing. It's always, even in 2025, it's still an issue with this, with these doctors that are getting in and these drug cheats and the doctors that are no better. And it's a terrible look for boxing, Chris. And it's got to stop.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's this guy made that video. And there's pictures all over him on social media and that. I having a bit of technical difficulties trying to get my my pictures up, but he's took selfies with Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury loads of times, Spencer Brown, Conor Benn, Dennis McCann. The list goes on, And that's a list of everyone taking selfies with him. Like, this is a great guy. Only last year or the year before, Tyson Fury failed a drug test for wild boar. Yeah, is that the he didn't give him what excuses he bullshit he tells them to beat it if they do get caught. So I bet he's behind that, saying these are the animals that you can say what meat you've been eating.
Wild boar and eggs we've so far, haven't we? What's the next one? Chickens?
Wild boar with Fury, eggs with Conor Benn, and who else cheated? Now Dennis McCann. What's Dennis McCann's excuse for taking the most strongest, powerful steroid that you can get? That's what I'll tell you what it is.
I'll tell you what it is. It's that Dane pack bacon, Chris. That bloody Dane pack bacon.
Yeah. Fucking drinking bullshit, mate. That's what he's drinking. Fucking hell. You like it. Like, why would you take? You know, Trent. Like, it's 1 second. Someone's at the door.
Oh,
1 sec. Carry on. We carry on. One sec. So, like, but that is the most strongest one you can get, and it all it does is it's good for muscle strength, muscle recovery and repair. It is not good for fighting because it fucks up your oxygen levels and stuff like that. Because you don't need oxygen to make your muscles big. You don't need it because you're only using your anabolic energy system, which runs out. Well, it only runs on protein, and it runs out after like 5 seconds.
What the fuck is Dennis McCann about? What is he, fucking featherweight? I don't know. What's the fucking point in Dennis McCann taking? He ain't going up 2 weight divisions. But at least with Conor Benn, right? And I'm not alleging. I know he's been found innocent, so I want to go on record as saying that we don't know. But at least if it was the case, if it was true with Conor Benn, he's going up 2 weight divisions to middleweight. What's fucking Dennis McCann on fucking trend for?
And who's he fighting? No sense. There's like, even though there's no world title on the line, because of Lance Senior and Nigel Benn, there's a lot of pride, family pride, bragging right, everything. No one wants to lose that fight. Dennis McCann, what the fuck was he taking steroids for? To go and fight some fucking divvy in fucking from Yorkshire in Saudi Arabia? Like, why?
Right. McGrath's a decent operator, sort of top 15 sort of level, but it was a massive opportunity for McCann. And like you said, I'd understand if he's going into a European, Commonwealth, world title, you're sort of on an upward. You just kind of. I mean, G-Man called it out that his career could be over. I think he sort of said something like, "Oh, he's fucked" or something like that. But maybe his career could be over. But if he takes a lengthy ban now, is he? I don't know what. Do you know, Chris, if he's banned now, McCann? Like what? He could be banned for a couple.
He's still under investigation, so why don't we? I'm surprised no one's running rounds to Frank Warren. Where's the B sample? Where's the B sample? Because that's all he kept saying about Conor Benn and Dylan White. Let's
hypothesize that he does get found out for that, and say if he gets he could get up to a 4-year ban. I mean, Liam Cameron got a 4-year ban for cocaine. I mean, which doesn't give you any benefits in the ring whatsoever. If anything, it'll make you worse in the ring.
This is the thing, yeah, that I don't get. Like, boxing is fucked up. They need to right, if you're not in camp and you're not fighting, if you want to fucking put some shit up your nose at the weekend and have a good time like everyone else, you should be allowed. It's your career that you're fucking up because it makes you worse. How can you ban someone for taking cocaine for 2 years? How can you do that? And then someone who takes steroids, people like Canelo, Fury, whatever, you ban them the same. And this is worse because if people are taking steroids and you're it's not tennis, it's not football, like boxing's not a game. Like you can kill people if you're using enhanced things to strengthen your body and making yourself stronger illegally like that. So it's not the same. People who take cocaine and people who are taking steroids, when you fight on steroids, you can kill somebody because you're humanly stronger than the average person and you're using it in a combat sport. If you're taking cocaine at the weekend when you're not even got a fight on, the only person you're harming is yourself. And that is not fair to ruin someone's career just because they had a live on the weekend when some people are taking steroids, trying to kill people in the ring and putting a bad name on our sport, a slur on it and trying to get it banned. It's absolutely travesty. But the only problem is the British Boxing Board of Control, they've put out a statement last week or the week before. We're late to the party, as always, but the best people always come late. They saying that he's under investigation and he's not allowed to work with any British fighters. Yeah, but that doesn't mean. But the thing is, where the British Boxing Board of Control, that it's not government funded. I think it's one of the rare boxing boards like of a country that hasn't got government funding, so they don't want to. They can't fight lawsuits. They can't. So if they go for this doctor, and they say anything too wrong, like they don't say alleged and blah blah blah, and he sues them and wins, and then we all know because he came out on YouTube and said, yeah, this is how you cheat, this is how you avoid VADA, all the because I think he was saying the truth, and I don't know what possessed him to say that, and I don't know why anyone would go near him because of what he said, because they're fucking idiots as well. But it's just, I don't think they're investigating him, but I don't think they've got the balls to take him all the way through civil court and do him and ban him from boxing forever. When working with not even boxing, just athletes in general forever. But it's most serious in boxing when people are taking steroids because you can kill somebody. You can kill someone if you're taking steroids and you get in that ring. You know, it's not boxing's not. That's why I love boxing. Because it's not like any other sport in the world. You play tennis, you play football, you fucking play a piano. You do not play boxing. It's a serious man's warrior sport. It's not a game.
Yeah. Well said, Chris. Well said. And we'll have to we'll have to wrap it up there because don't forget to like.
There we go. Like and subscribe.
Don't ever work with Dr. Usman because he'll fucking life up. And yeah, and leave a comment. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Love everybody. Love. Oh man, these are going to be a while, mate, because there's a lot of editing that I've got to do.
I know you're bloody. I don't know what that's about with your end. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's an area problem or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't help. This new phone's a bit slow.